it's a great time to do a startup because especially right now जिस तरह से startups boom कर रहे हैं हमारी country में, जिस तरह से हमको support मिल रहा है, the next decade belongs to entrepreneurs. The next decade belongs to startups. They are going to be the biggest boosters of economy. They are the people who are going to provide enough jobs, genuinely solving a problem and making our life much, much easier. So running a startup, doing a job in a startup or being a part of building a startup is very, very important.
अंजलि बाबा जी, स्वागत है आपका मेरे चैनल हर्षित लूथरा पर, लूथरास पॉडकास्ट पर आपका स्वागत है। और सबसे पहले आप कैसा फील कर रहे हो मेरे चैनल पर आकर?
बहुत अच्छा, I'm feeling very good, very alive, and I think Saturday morning, all fresh and nice. Thank you so much for inviting, Harshit. Means a lot.
Thank you so much for coming. एंड सबसे पहले मेरे व्यूअर्स और मैं जानना चाहते हैं कि आप कौन हो, तो एक बार अपने बारे में एक्सप्लेन कर दो कि हु इज अंजलि बावा?
Who is Anjali Bawa? I think Anjali Bawa is a realistic dreamer. Why do I say that? Because I dream a lot. I have big vision for my business, for myself. Sky is the limit. But at the same time, I think I'm a very, very realistic and a practical person. I'm really grounded and I love to be rooted in what is practical, what is going to happen. And for that makes me a very executionable person. And I think that is the reason why I'm an entrepreneur. So I think all entrepreneurs are realistic dreamers. They dream big, but their heart lies in the execution as to what will happen today. So that I'm an entrepreneur and come from a business family. Born and brought up in Gurgaon, Delhi. Did my undergrad from LSR, Delhi University. Was passionate about theatre and arts. Went on to do my master's in management from Vedika Scholars Program. Again, took the combination of commerce and arts. Great learning, learned a lot about, got different perspectives as to how things work. That was the time when I started actually my first venture, Heer Frangi. It was an Indo-Western apparel line, a passion project, which I just thought that, I could put it up all online and work everything across it. That was my first big business dream as an entrepreneur, my onset journey. From there onwards, I took a corporate job at OYO. I worked as a category manager, managed the asset monetization vertical there. And that is where I got the vision for Voila. Where I realized that, a lot of startups and freelancers, they are looking to connect with the right set of folks and the path is very long. We see a lot of news around startups that, they're getting funded and everything, but they don't realize the journey is huge. And I felt that, I can bring those resources and make that journey a little more easier. And that is how Voila was born. But other than that, I think as an Anjali is entrepreneur by heart and dreams big and hopes to bring a big, big change in the world.
Yeah. So सबसे पहले स्टार्टअप के बारे में बात करनी है, आज पूरा पॉडकास्ट स्टार्टअप पर है। तो वोइला के बारे में जानना चाहूंगा कि वोइला की शुरुआत कैसे हुई थी?
जैसे मैंने बताया, वोइला की शुरुआत एक्चुअली में ओयो से हुई. When I was in OYO, I used to manage the co-working vertical. Co-working vertical में I used to interact with lots of business founders, young founders, freelancers on a daily basis. And that is where we used to provide them, partnership services through legal, through technical, wherever they would need help. And what I realized was that a business founder goes through a lot of challenges and a lot of problems. And they're not essentially skilled at everything. It's impossible, right? That running a business, one person knows everything and they need team, they need people for it. And sometimes that is not even a solution. Sometimes a lot of work could be outsourced or could be freelanced. Not everybody can afford to raise funds immediately. Okay. So, so I felt like there is a need to empower them. And that is how the idea came that, here is our solution. Voila, why not create a marketplace where business founders can check the expert's profile, they can understand who they are, what is their experience, where they have worked. And from that, you can chat with them, you can schedule a call with them, and you can also give them a project and also tell your budget. So there is a complete transparency as to whom you want to connect with, how you want to connect with. And I think that empowerment was a solution through Voila. And so in January 2020, I left my job at OYO to take this up as a full-time job. And since then, it's been a year. We've gotten organic traction and all bootstrapped till here, learned a lot, failed a lot, and experimented a lot. So great journey so far, and I truly believe that we can be a great space for a lot of founders, a place where they can come and get their problems resolved.
So like मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि हर चीज का ना एक रीजन होता है कि यार आप कोई भी काम कर रहे हो उसका एक रीजन, लाइक आपने जो वोइला स्टार्ट किया उसके पीछे भी एक बहुत बड़ा रीजन आपने मुझे बताया, बट जब स्टार्टअप का नाम करते हो तो उसके पीछे भी एक रीजन लिखा होगा कि लाइक वोइला ही नाम क्यों रखा आपने?
So Voila is a French word which means here is your solution. They call it voila, we got a solution. So when this thing happened, it was like a eureka moment for us that यही तो चाहिए था यार कि ये solution, that this is my problem and I want to get it resolved here. And that was it. And we thought that why not bring that live, that here is a solution. You don't need to think it otherwise. You have a problem. Here is your marketplace. You can come here and connect with people directly and get that sorted. So that is the only reason why we thought Voila experts. And yeah.
Yeah. So like मैं ओयला की शुरुआत से पहले मैं ओयो पे जाना चाहूंगा वापस एक बार, थोड़ा सा ओयो से बारे में बात करनी है आपसे. तो आपने ओयो से क्या क्या सीखा? आपकी ओयो की लर्निंग्स क्या क्या रही?
ओयो से मैंने बहुत कुछ सीखा. It was my first corporate experience. And I think what I learned in OYO is a big company now. Even though it is a startup, it is a big company where I learned that, आपको एक pool में छोड़ दिया है, and you have to find your way. You have to navigate your journey. So I think it made me smart thinker and it made me a great executioner. I am able to execute so many things because I was just left with task and I didn't know where to go about. It doesn't mean that there isn't a help. There is help, but everybody is so busy doing their work that you want to get things done fast and smartly. So I think it made me a smart thinker. It made me a great execution person. And at the same time, I learned that how to communicate across different sectors, because in OYO, I was talking to senior management and at the same time at a local vendor in a single day. So I think it taught me a lot about communication, as to what to communicate, how to communicate, where to communicate. So these are also very important aspects of learning not only how to communicate, but also at what time, at what kind of language that you should speak that resonates well. चाहे वो हिंदी है, चाहे वो इंग्लिश है, कहाँ इंग्लिश का यूज करना है, वो उस टाइम पे उसकी जो टोन है, that also helped a lot. So I think 3 things that I have to give away for OYO: execution, smart thinking, and communication.
So like OYO छोड़ने के बाद आपको क्या चैलेंजेस रहे? Like आप एक स्टेबल जॉब पर थे और वहां से आप एक अनस्टेबिलिटी की तरफ जा रहे हो, तो फाइनेंशियल चैलेंज होंगे, और उसके अलावा क्या क्या चैलेंज रहे आपके लिए?
बहुत challenges थे. I think just taking that step is enough challenge, because when you go ahead and say that I'm not going to go do a job which gives me stable income, security, going to an entrepreneurial path is itself a challenge, and I think people who do that are gutsy enough, okay, and they are mad. Honestly, if I have to put it out, they are mad that they want to do this, because it's a lot of hustle, it's a lot of hard work. But at the end of the day, I think you feel so good that you're doing something on your own, you're building something from scratch, it's your baby. But I think besides financial, I think it was more about mental space, making myself making myself aware that I have to do this not for myself, but for the people I'm building this for them. People who are trusting me, motivating myself every single day. There are a lot of days where I feel like, why I'm doing this? I don't need to do this. I can right now leave my business and go for a job, and I'll actually get a very good salary. but why I'm doing this. I think that is itself it's a huge challenge to get yourself ready again and again to run through this path. So yeah.
So like आपको ये चीज लग रही है कि ओयो का एक बिजनेस मॉडल है लाइक कि पहले होटल्स थे, पहले आने वाले कस्टमर्स थे, उन्होंने क्या किया, एक ब्रिज का काम किया कि लाइक वहां पर आप अपने उनके ऐप से आप होटल आसपास के कनेक्ट कर सकते हो. आपका भी कुछ ना कुछ बिजनेस मॉडल ऐसा ही है कि लाइक एक्सपर्टीज पहले थे, एक्सपर्टीज लेने वाले जो जिनको चाहिए वो भी थी, तो और आप एक ब्रिज का काम कर रहे हो वहां पर आप ये ब्रिज उनका गैप कंप्लीट कर रहे हो, तो आप उसके बारे में क्या सोच रहे हो?
So OYO and Voila where you're trying to compare, right? जो आप ब्रिज की बात कर रहे हो, इसको हम बोलते हैं एग्रीगेटर बिजनेस मॉडल. ओके, सो एग्रीगेटर बिजनेस मॉडल ऐसा मॉडल होता है जिसमें आप दोनों पार्टीज को, लाइक इन OYO in the case of people who want to travel safe and at hygienic places, and hotels, उनको आप एग्रीगेट करके एक प्लेस पे लेकर आ रहे हो where they can easily make the booking. Similarly, Voila में we are bringing all the industry experts, subject matter experts on one platform. जिसको जो problem है, people who are seeking the solution, they can come to this aggregator place and connect with the experts. But how we are different or essentially इसमें थोड़े minor changes होते हैं is that we are a expert network platform. Over here, humans are associated, people are associated, the expertise is different. And it's a marketplace where we are helping them connect one-on-one directly. Okay. So you are not essentially making a booking that, this is my problem 1, 2, 3, but essentially you are connecting one-on-one. And I think that's what makes us different also in an aggregator business model. And we are actually, in India, we're probably the only marketplace where you get a set of curated experts where you can directly connect with them for the problem and to the people who are giving that solution. So that essentially is our business model, the aggregated marketplace.
Yeah. So like यंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहोगे कि उनको एग्रीगेट बिजनेस मॉडल का फ्यूचर, मैं कहूंगा एग्रीगेट बिजनेस मॉडल का फ्यूचर क्या लग रहा है आपको, कितना अच्छा है ये?
See, aggregator business model अब आपको बहुत जगहों पे दिखता है. It's a huge trend also, I would say, that people have started to adopt this thing. And the biggest reason for this is streamlining. बहुत सारे hotels थे, बहुत सारे experts थे, it's unorganized. We are just bringing them together on one platform and streamlining the functions. So इस cases में aggregator business model बहुत चल रहा है और इसका scope भी बहुत है, because the moment you decide to organize an unorganized sector, you are bound to reap bigger money and get that gold pot, because that is the hardest part. It's the aggregator business model seems very easy from outside. It's the hardest business, because getting everyone on one platform and ensure there is no conflict of interest, ensure there is no ensure that there is not divided money, there isn't any divided problem. तो इस चीज को अगर आप उस प्रॉब्लम को जब सॉल्व कर रहे हो, इट्स वेरी हार्ड. एंड एनीवे किसी भी चीज को अनऑर्गेनाइज को ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर करने चाहो जो बहुत सालों से अनऑर्गेनाइज है, तो आपको उसमें टाइम तो लगेगा ही. बट आई वुड से पोटेंशियल मनी वाइज ग्रेट, पोटेंशियल वाइज सॉल्विंग अ प्रॉब्लम इज ग्रेट. And I think any startup which is trying to solve a problem, anyway, all the startups are the businesses who are trying to solve some problem. And when they try to solve a problem with right technology, with right expertise, with right smart modeling, and ensure that there is a scalability, in that business, that is bound to succeed, for sure.
Yeah. तो लाइक आपको ये चीज तो पता ही होगी कि हर एक स्टार्टअप में बिजनेस मॉडल एक मेजर रोल इम्पैक्ट करता है. तो और सबसे बड़ी बात होती है कि B2B बिजनेस है या B2C बिजनेस है, ये दोनों चीजें मैटर करती हैं. तो लाइक आपका क्या वोइला का वो है, और आप B2B के बारे में क्या सोचते हो, B2C के बारे में आप क्या सोचते हो?
ये बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है आपका, क्योंकि आई थिंक एवरीवन हु स्टार्ट्स अ बिजनेस ना, दे आर लाइक क्या B2B कर रहे हैं या B2C कर रहे हैं, एंड यू आर ऑलवेज कंफ्यूज्ड. एंड ये मुझे पहले नहीं लगता था. व्हेन आई वाज स्टडीइंग MBA, आई नेवर थॉट कि इट्स अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट डिसीजन टू मेक, बट इट इज. Voila we started with an intention of B2B, where we wanted to connect businesses with the experts. But I think somewhere down the line, I realized you are, everything is around people. You're trying to solve problem for people, and in somewhere down the line we created a path that no, we are now B2C business model, where we are targeting business founders, where we are trying to help them and empower them and get the right set of expertise. फ्यूचर में B2B का स्कोप है, यस डेफिनेटली है, क्यों? क्योंकि हमारा मार्केट प्लेस है, तो हम लोग B2B-C मॉडल में भी जाना चाहेंगे. बट राइट नाउ आई वुड से दिस इज अ B2C मॉडल वेयर वी आर strongly focusing on founder community and empowering them to get the right set of expertise and help them in their business journey. That's what we are doing. Otherwise, B2B and B2C they both are very different set of businesses. These days, it's a trend to combine it to B2B-C model. I think it has helped a lot because of technology as well. Because it has made your process much easier for you to focus on both the channels. But they are. But I think it comes down to your values when you are starting a business as to what channel you want to take. You want to take B2B or B2C. They both work very differently. They both function very differently. So I would say that it's a founder's call. It's an entrepreneur's call that what they decide to make for their business. But both have their own pros and cons.
So like आपको ये मैं ये चीज पूछना चाहूंगा कि एक पर्सन वोइला से कनेक्ट कैसे कर सकता है, मतलब ऐप के थ्रू, आपकी वेबसाइट है, तो इसको एक बार थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कर दो.
Yes, definitely. So Voila is an app-based business. You can download the app. It's available on both Android and iOS by the name of Voila Expert. You can download, you can register yourself as a startup. And once you get registered and approved and get listed, that is where you can see all the profiles of the experts. It is free. You can connect with you can download and register yourself for free. There are, you can chat with the experts for free as well. There are two types of calls, paid calls and free calls, which is also listed on the platform. So if you want to connect for free calls, you can as it is do it instantly, or you can schedule a call. And for paid calls, you can recharge your wallet on the app itself, and it is on pay-per-use model. So for example, if you only do the call for 30 minutes, you will be only charged for 30 minutes and not beyond that. So you can accordingly recharge your wallet and get on the paid calls, and everything happens very seamlessly.
So like आपने जब आपका इंट्रो दिया था तो आपने बताया था कि आप कॉमर्स और आर्ट्स से पास आउट हो और फिर उसके बाद आपने एमबीए किया, तो एक ये नॉन टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड आ जाता है, क्योंकि साइंस वगैरह इंजीनियर वाला बैकग्राउंड नहीं आता, और आपने सीधा जंप किया एक टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड पे. लाइक आपका ऐप बनाना है, और ऐप एंड्रॉइड ऐप इतना आसान नहीं रहता बनाना, तो आपका उस पे क्या वो लगा कि चैलेंजेस रहा, कैसे रहा वो आपका?
I think it was a big challenge initially when I thought that moving from arts, commerce background to jumping into a tech startup. But eventually I realized that it's not about streams anymore. It's not about science, commerce. As I said right before, it all comes down to people. आप लोगों के लिए काम कर रहे हो, और उसके लिए अगर आपको लोग समझ आते हैं ना, फिर आप कोई ना कोई solution निकालोगे. I'll find a way. And I think with that approach, I'm a very people person. I love talking to people. I love talking. I communicate with each and every user. I communicate with each and every partner on our platform. We have 260 plus experts right now on our platform. And शायद ही 2-3 को छोड़ के मैंने सबसे बात करी होगी in detail. So I think if you can find what is the problem that they're trying, what is their problem, and you can come up with a solution. It doesn't matter you come from science, arts, commerce. I really wish a lot of women come to tech startups, because I feel the way women understand people, it's very different. The way they're able to analyze it, because that really helps you create a business journey. That helps you create a user journey. That helps you create an entire path of this thing. That's the basic notion. So doesn't matter coming from arts or commerce background. Yes, I'm now women in tech. I love to say that. I'm proud to be a woman in tech, and I'm proud to be an Indian woman in tech. Because I feel we need to bring so many more women in this channel, and not worry which background they come from. Because as long as you are here to solve a problem and you are determined enough to solve it, doesn't matter where you come from. And yes, it was a huge jump, and I'm still learning. Having said that, I keep on reading a lot. I study a lot. I take up online courses. I keep upskilling myself, because without that, you can't reach anywhere. And I
Hmm.
truly believe that education will take me far ahead. And that is why I never felt like that, I never felt like I'm from science background.
या सो लाइक वोइला की टीम के बारे में थोड़ा सा डिस्कस करते हैं कि वोइला की टीम कैसे है, आपने ऐप कैसे बनवाया, लाइक आपने कहा अब आपको नहीं लगता कि आप साइंस बैकग्राउंड से हो या कॉमर्स बैकग्राउंड से हो, तो वो आप एक थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कर दो वोइला की टीम के बारे में.
Very interesting question. Because we are a very, very small team. It's a group of hustlers. It's a group of hustlers who are working part-time on Voila. Before Jan, of course, we started working on the idea and building the app. I started with my two very strong pillars with whom I soundboarded the idea. And they're still part of Voila. They are part as advisors. And one was from the tech background who had expertise in app, and one had expertise in consulting industry. So we together three come down together and helped scale Voila. Since then, we've had 10 to 15 people always working on Voila as part-timers, as freelancers. So we have a group of interns, we have developers with us who are literally on call basis. And we also have people who are working on the business development, and lastly on the content. So as I said, 10 to 15 members always working on Voila, but none of them is full-time. For them, Voila is their baby. Like all of us, we are all nurturing and building Voila. But yes, we are a group of 10 to 15 folks right now. But we are hoping to scale this very, very soon.
So like एक पर्सन को किस किस चीज की एक्सपर्टीज मिल सकती है वोइला के अंदर?
किस किस चीज की एक्सपर्टीज मिल सकती है? So we literally say that from validating your business idea to getting fundraise, we've got you covered. We have 7 business categories: sales, business, legal, PR, technology, digital marketing, and fundraising. So you can connect with these industry experts with an average years of experience of 8 to 10 years who are listed on our platform. They also go up to 20 plus years of experience in their domains. You can directly connect with them because they're all here to provide you a solution.
Yeah. So like ये एक चीज आती है कि जब कोई व्यूअर देख रहा है वो ये पूछेगा कि यार मैं वोइला को ज्वाइन ही क्यों करूं, मैं लिंक्डइन से कनेक्ट कर सकता हूं किसी गेस्ट से, या मैं अगर मेरे कोई इन्वेस्टर से बात करने में, कोई एंटरप्रेन्योर से बात करने में, वहां से आपसे कनेक्ट कर लूंगा, तो मैं वोइला को ज्वाइन करने के बाद मेरे को क्या बेनिफिट्स मिलेंगे?
Voila से ज्वाइन करने का ये है कि इट्स अ क्यूरेटेड सेट ऑफ एक्सपर्ट्स. व्हेन आई से क्यूरेटेड, वेटेड एक्सपर्ट्स, मतलब जो भी हमारे एक्सपर्ट्स हमारे लिस्ट हुए हैं प्लेटफॉर्म पे, दे आर हियर टू प्रोवाइड योर सोल्यूशन. They are here to provide that expertise. They are the right set of mentors. Plus, they also go through our background check. We vet them. Then only they get listed on our platform. उसके बिना वो नहीं आ सकते हमारे platform पे. Okay. And they, as I said, they all come from a very reputed experience set. Plus, when you come to Voila, you are able to see where they have worked, what kind of expertise they are willing to provide. That kind of transparency you get to see only on Voila. When you say, why can't I go on LinkedIn? Go ahead. Why don't you go and put your research on LinkedIn? But you will have to go through the entire process where people will like, oh, I'm commenting for better reach. Support. I'll add like. But people don't realize that there are very few people on LinkedIn who have gotten very good following, where people will probably comment sooner. But at the same time, they will only comment and tell you an advice, which is a free advice of maybe check out this article, check out this video. They're not here to provide you that. They're not here to give you their own time for their consulting or for their expertise. They're not there. LinkedIn is a networking place, whereas Voila is an expert marketplace. You are coming here for your problem. As simple as that. You don't open LinkedIn for problems.
Yeah.
So that is a big difference between Voila and LinkedIn. And in general, I believe when you have a problem, you want to get it solved quickly. And that's why we are here providing you expertise on demand.
So like आपने ओयो में जॉब करी है और उसके बाद आप वोइला में एज एन एंटरप्रेन्योर काम कर रहे हो, मतलब एंटरप्रेन्योर फाउंडर हो वहां के, तो लाइक आपको जॉब वर्सेस स्टार्टअप के बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहोगे कि लाइक आपको ये चीज लगती है कि अगर आपको एक अच्छा एंटरप्रेन्योर बनना है तो पहले आपको एक कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड का एक्सपीरियंस लेना पड़ेगा, लाइक 1-2 साल का, ताकि आपको कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड से फेमिलियर हो जाओ, और जॉब वर्सेस स्टार्टअप में आपका क्या डिफरेंस रहा, कि मतलब कौन सा चीज अच्छी लगी आपकी?
This is a very subjective question for everyone. I know it's a very popular debate कि जॉब करना चाहिए या स्टार्टअप करना चाहिए, पर मुझे लगता है कि ये बहुत ही पर्सनल है क्वेश्चन. I've always said that to maybe start a business, you don't need an experience, but at the same time, you need a lot of experience. You will also gain experience while running a business, and you will also gain experience while doing a job.
Yeah.
So I would say, मैं मोटे-मोटे 3-4 differences बताती हूँ. When you are in a job, the stability is only in the form of income. Very fixed component of income, not even additional bonus or incentives. Additional income जो आपको एक डेट पे आके मिलती है, ठीक है. Other than that, there is ऐसा नहीं है कि job is a very stable thing. You have to keep on proving yourself to stay in that position. It's not a complacent place कि आपने you've gotten a role and you will stay like that. You have to achieve your targets. You have to achieve your goals. There are KPIs that you have to follow. You have to manage in a team. You have to work with the team. And you have to reach a certain position where you can skill yourself and reach above, right? So job is also equally very hard doing it. Cut to running a business. Running a business is like doing everything on your own. You will have to create your own team. You will have to divide responsibilities. You'll have to take charge of from finances to tech to your marketing. Everything you will have to do it on your own. You will have to learn a lot. You might not have a structured team. You might not have structured rules and patterns to follow, which you might get in a job. There are no delegation. Everything is linear. मतलब सब एक level पे है. तो आपको you have to navigate a lot. So running a business also hard. Doing a job is also very, very hard. Okay. Now when I say is that you come to your own personal opinion is what kind of a person I am. Am I a person who is okay with ambiguity, who is okay to hustle a lot? I'm a person who actually dreams in unrealistic things as well and is willing to reach there. And is also looking to learn across different patterns. Then I would say that startup is great. Startup also, I mean, not doing a job in a startup, running a startup. Then it's great for you. If you feel like you see yourself in a lot of leadership roles where you feel like you want to make everything like from scratch to, reality, then entrepreneurship is for you. If you're okay with less money in the beginning, if you're okay to hustle a lot, if you're okay to have a not a 9 to 6 place, but working 24/7. Business, running business is 24/7. Then entrepreneurship is for you. Now मैं अभी बोल रही हूँ तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि यार ये तो बड़ी बकवास चीज है. नहीं, ऐसा भी नहीं है. Because when you do a startup, आपके सामने आपने जो सोचा होता है ना वो आप देखते हो. तो बहुत ही rewarding experience है. It's a very rewarding. It's definitely not glamorous as people call it. It's very rewarding experience when you see things getting, built in front of you. When a customer comes to you and say that, I really enjoyed your service. I really loved, my seamless process on the app. That's so rewarding, right? Whereas in a job, things are probably more structured. There is little less ambiguity as to what you are doing, why you are doing. There is a very direct line of delegation that, you are supposed to do this much, that much. So, उन चीजों में क्या है कि the learning is immense, but it might be restricted. You're not exposed to everything together. So, over here, the learning journey might be a little slower as compared to running a startup. But as I said, there are people as yourself, that, whether I like structured, right set of things, or am I a person who is okay to let go of, okay to have that ambiguity as long as I'm determined to get this done. So it's a very personal thing that you should go for a job or a startup. Both have their pros and cons and both are good. There is nothing wrong in working in a job, and there is nothing wrong in doing a job first and then building a startup, or building a startup first and then also failing and doing a job. It's absolutely all right. Everyone is running their own timeline. Everyone has their own life, and don't compare. Don't compare कि यार वो job कर रहा है या वो startup कर रहा है. I never thought I will be running a business. I genuinely wanted to do job, but somewhere the destiny came to me, and I was like, I'm meant for this. I want to do this. Let's go for it, and that's why I took this. That risk capacity also differentiates you a lot from job and from a startup. Because remember, job में salary तो आ रहा है, business में पता नहीं है कब आएगा.
So like इन्वेस्टमेंट्स के बारे में और फंड रेजिंग के बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहोगे कि लाइक कैसे करना चाहिए, आपने क्या किया या नहीं किया, आपका क्या पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है इस पे?
Fundraising is a long process. It looks very glamorous and fun from outside. It's not. It's very tedious, and I would say you should not do it without an expert. It's very, very important that you get the right set of expert in the beginning who can help you understand whether right now at stage you are ready to even raise funds. Sometimes they say raising funds is easier, but managing them is harder.
Yeah.
So you should be mentally prepared कि मैं funds raise कर रही हूँ या कर रहा हूँ. तो expert is important when you are raising funds. It is very important to understand कि आपका रोड मैप क्या है, आपका 1 year का विजन क्या है, 2 year का विजन क्या है, आप क्या चाह रहे हो कि आप इस फंड्स को किस तरीके से एलोकेट करोगे, किस चीज के लिए यूज करोगे. एंड एट द सेम टाइम people who are investing in you, they're investing in you, believing in you, but they're also doing it for their returns. Every investor is giving you money because they want a 10x returns, right? So you also need to understand ki when will that return start, because you are also morally responsible when you are raising funds, because you are taking someone's money to build your own business. It's not like उन्होंने आपको देके वो भूल गए. It's important to be that morally conscious and responsible. That is why they say you should know when you're ready to raise fund, and when you know, come to Voila. We'll get you the experts where you can get the right set of mentoring, where they can help you get your evaluations done, your pitch deck done, and actually help you understand how to raise funds and when to raise funds, because it's a very long process. It's not only about going to Shark Tank and give your pitch. What they don't show you in Shark Tank is that it takes a long time to even release those funds, create a term sheet. So I won't get into technicalities, because जब experts हैं तो आपको इतना technicalities को घुसने की जरूरत नहीं है.
So like आप इस पे क्या कहना चाहोगे? लाइक आपका जो जैसे वो ऐप है वो सारा एक्सपर्ट्स प्रोवाइड करता है, तो आप एक्सपर्ट्स को कैसे पिच करते हो कि लाइक आप हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म पर आओ और मेंटरशिप दो, आपको क्या बेनिफिट होगा, आप वो बता दो थोड़ा सा कि एक्सपर्ट कैसे आपकी चैनल मतलब प्लेटफॉर्म पर आते हैं.
Really nice question. So experts को हम क्यों पिच करते हैं कि why they should come here and not go, not run their own, they're all running their own agencies also. But why experts should come to Voila is because we divide this into a lot of value proposition. So one is that when they get listed on our platform, we heavily promote them. They are our brand ambassadors. Voila के brand ambassadors हमारे experts हैं. So the personal brand building for them, the value proposition that they get. Second is the leads that they get from here. These leads are genuinely founders, because we also approve them when they get listed on our platform. So they are getting a quality-led leads, not unfiltered data, but sort of filtered data who connect with them directly, who are here to get their problem resolved. So, you're cutting through a lot of nonsense from here. So that also helps a lot of our experts. And thirdly, I would say it is saving a lot of their time and money, because Voila acts as a SaaS platform for them. Voila helps them to provide, manage their time, manage their calendar on our platform. They get a chance to, all the calls, all the messages are scheduled on the platform. So they don't need to go ahead and set up their own website also. They can come here and literally register themselves and get listed. And all of this is handled by Voila. So we're giving them a SaaS solution. We are saving their time and money. We're helping them build their own personal brand. In fact, we've also partnered with a lot of big companies where we give them additional business opportunities, as well as we also help them curate a set of, if they want to, let's say, write a good article, they need someone to manage their personal presence. We also help with that through our B2B partnerships. So you don't need to, worry anymore. Come to Voila and join us as an expert.
Yeah.
And people are waiting for you.
So like आप एक एंटरप्रेन्योर बनने के बाद आपको क्या क्या चैलेंजेस आए? लाइक चैलेंजेस, मैं कहूँगा सिंपल क्वेश्चन, चैलेंजेस यू फेस्ड आफ्टर बिकमिंग एन एंटरप्रेन्योर.
The challenges I feel I face challenge every single day. मुझे लगता है कि एज एन एंटरप्रेन्योर आप दिन भर challenges face करते हो. But I don't want to, be a person ki, बहुत मुश्किल है, it's very difficult. Because, I chose this path for myself. I know why I did it. My reasons are very clear that why I am doing this. So I believe ki more than challenges, I believe I am learning a lot. And those learnings would not have come if there weren't any challenges, So, but I would say the biggest thing is that I now hope is that I get to build a very strong team. So hiring is a big challenge which people face. So I think if I have to say in technical aspects, so hiring is a quite a big challenge to get the right set of people who gel with you, who understand your values, who understand why you're building this. I think that's one of the biggest challenges any business faces. So that is there. And other than that, I think dealing with people, communicating. I deal with people day in, day out. And that is itself in a way of challenging. But I've learned a lot through this. I have learned how to communicate with anyone and everyone. You can put me in front of Prime Minister, I'll go and talk.
So like आपका मेन बेसिकली मैं कहूँगा रिवेन्यू मॉडल वो क्या है, वो कैसे आप वोइला कैसे अर्न करता है? लाइक आपने जब आपने बात की थी कि जब स्टार्टअप करते हो थोड़ा पैसा कम आना शुरू होता है, स्टार्टिंग में नहीं मिलता, तो आपने भी ये फाइनेंशियल तो फेस किया ही होगा, बट अब आपका थोड़ा बहुत रिवेन्यू स्टार्ट हुआ होगा, तो वो कैसे आप रिवेन्यू को जनरेट करते हो?
So we are at an early traction space, right? Our product is ready. The MVP is all sorted. The experts we already have 260 plus experts on our platform. We have 1600 plus registered users as well. And so our revenue model is actually on a commission-based model on the paid projects and paid calls. That is the one model that we work on. Second is we have B2B partnerships. So all kind of outsourced services, we have commissions based businesses there as well. And mostly I would tell you aggregated business model works on two things, subscription and commission. We are more focused on the commission model, and eventually we would like to move to a subscription model as well. So that has been it so far.
So like जैसे आपने बात की ना कमीशन मॉडल की, आपका एक कमीशन रेवेन्यू मॉडल है, तो वहां पर मेरा एक बहुत बेसिक क्वेश्चन या फिर मैं कहूँगा बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन आता है, वो ये है कि लाइक जब आप कमीशन बेसिस पर हो तो कई बार ऐसा होता है कि आने वाला टाइम जब आपका फ्यूचर होगा तो क्या करेंगे, जो कस्टमर्स हैं, जो कंज्यूमर्स हैं, जो आपका ऐप जो कंटेंट को कंज्यूम करेंगे, वो डायरेक्ट ही आपके जो एक्सपर्ट्स हैं उनके साथ कनेक्ट कर लेंगे, लाइक जैसे, और आपके एक्सपर्ट्स भी डायरेक्ट वो कर लेंगे, तो इनके बेसिक में ये होगा कि आपका कोई रोल नहीं रह जाएगा. वो ये सोचेंगे कि मैं अगर आपको मान लो कमीशन दे भी रहा हूं तो क्यों दे रहा हूं, मैं ऐसे डायरेक्ट फीस कोच कर लूंगा और फिर वो मेरे को फीस डायरेक्ट दे देगा. तो बीच में जो आपका सप्लाई चेन है वो वहां पर टूट जाता है. फ्यूचर में ऐसा हो सकता है जब आप एक बड़े नेटवर्क पर आ जाओगे, जब आपके पास मोर देन आई थिंक सो 1000 प्लस वो हो जाएंगे, तो वहां पर आप क्या सोचते हो?
यू आर राइट. इसको बोलते हैं हम लोग टेक्निकल टर्म में लीकेजेस, कि आपको आउट पार कर दिया उन्होंने, आपको बाईपास कर दिया इन चीजों में. तो इस चीजों में हम लोग कहते हैं कि आप जोमेटो से खाना ऑर्डर करते हो, आप डायरेक्टली रेस्टोरेंट कॉल करके भी तो ऑर्डर कर सकते हो, राइट? आप अर्बन क्लैब पे एक प्लम्बर की सर्विस बुलाते हो, आप उसको डायरेक्ट नंबर लेके भी तो उसको बुला सकते हो. क्योंकि लेट गो ऑफ द अर्बन लैब का प्लेटफॉर्म फीस और जोमेटो का फीस. दैट विल हैपन एंड इट इज बाउंड टू हैपन. आई एम नॉट डिनाइंग कि वो नहीं होगा, वो होगा, ठीक है. बट the only way I believe very, very strongly is on two things. One is trust and the value that you're creating. If the value at Voila, अगर हम अपने experts को इतनी value देंगे, they will not bypass us. ये मेरा confidence है और ये मैं मानती हूँ कि ऐसा होगा. The more value I provide, the more leads I give them, the more business I give them through Voila, the more they are bound to stay with us. So that is where, you stop these leakages. When it comes to from a customer's point of view, they know for a fact that Voila as an entity will provide that safety and as a guarantee. We are a guarantor that your service is going to be delivered at the time that was promised to you. We take the payment in advance, but they remain in escrow model. Escrow model क्या होता है? जिसमें Voila के साथ रहता है. After the project is delivered, expert को मिलता है. So इस case में the customer is safe and ensured कि my service will get delivered. The people I'm connecting are safe. So they will not bypass us. Right? And similarly for experts, the more value in the business I get, they're not going to leave me.
Yeah.
Being very blunt about it, that is how the more value you provide, at the end of the day, सबको business चाहिए दोनों साइड पे.
Yeah.
जितना आप उनकी हेल्प करोगे, जितना आप उनकी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करोगे, the more they are bound to stick with you. And that is how I think at Voila we are going to ensure that.
Yeah. So like आपने क्रिटिसिज्म कितना फेस किया? लाइक जब आपने स्टार्टअप स्टार्ट किया तो पेरेंट्स का क्या पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू था, आपके नेबर्स का क्या था, आपके जो रिलेटिव्स है उनका क्या पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू था कि आप एक स्टेबल जॉब में हो, आप अनस्टेबिलिटी में मत जाओ, या फिर नेबर्स तो ये साफ कह देते हैं कि भाई तू क्या कर रहा है, या तू क्या कर रही है, समथिंग ऐसा. आपके फ्रेंड्स बेसिकली वो कह देते हैं यार तू स्टेबल जॉब पे है, तू क्या कर रही है, वहां पर क्यों जा रही है, जब आपको पता है कि आपके 2-3 साल तक कोई रेवेन्यू नहीं आने वाला. वहां पर आप स्टेबल जॉब पर तो हो, आपको उस पे क्या पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू?
लोग तो कहेंगे, लोगों का तो काम है कुछ कहना, but I think I have been very, very lucky. My family and friends are very supportive, very, very supportive. I think what helps is I also come from a business family. So, इसके दो parts हैं. When you come from a business family, one is they understand what is it to run a business and what all it takes. So, my father is a businessman. He's my biggest inspiration when it comes to this, that, how to lead things, how people, how he's getting things done, right? But उसका फ्लिप साइड भी है, क्योंकि जो बिजनेस फैमिली से आता है ना, उसको ये पता होता है कि इसमें इतने हार्डशिप्स हैं और इतने चैलेंजेस हैं कि दैट इट्स बेटर टू रन टू हैव अ लिटिल स्टेबल लाइफ इन अ जॉब. सो वो डाउट और क्वेश्चन हमेशा रहता ही है, और ऐसा नहीं है कि मैंने फेस नहीं किया वो. एंड आई थिंक ऑन टॉप ऑफ इट, अराउंड आउटसाइड यू फील लाइक ओके यू आर अ woman and why do you want to lead a tech business out of nowhere? Will this work, will this not? But I think more than outside, you need to make yourself believe that you can do it. Why you started, as I said, right? मैं खुद अपने आप से ज्यादा क्वेश्चन करती हूँ, more than people question me that why you're doing this. And अगर आप अपने आप को समझा लो और अगर आपकी फैमिली सपोर्टिव है, so nothing like it. So that's what I've been lucky there.
So like यहाँ मैं आपके पीछे ना बुक्स देख रहा हूँ बहुत सारी. तो एज एन एंटरप्रेन्योर आप कितने बुक्स रीड करते हो, और मतलब क्यों बुक्स रीड करना जरूरी क्यों है?
So yeah, you said books.
Yeah.
तो बुक्स पढ़ना यार बहुत जरूरी है. Like everyone should read books. And आप बिलीव नहीं करोगे, but I was a non-reader. I used to hate reading books. I was a visual person. I loved watching videos. मुझे लगता था यार बुक नहीं पढ़ी जाती. But trust me, 1 साल से जब से मैं कर रही हूँ, मुझे लगता है कि मैं बुक्स के बिना सर्वाइव ही नहीं कर सकती. आई हैव टू रीड इट. बुक्स हैव टॉट मी सो मच. एंड हाउ मेनी बुक्स आई रीड? आई थिंक आई रीड 1 book in a month. I try to at least finish 1 book in a month. And you need to develop small habits of reading a book. Try to experiment across different books, non-fiction में, कि आपको कौन सा genre पसंद आ रहा है. But I won't say fiction. Fiction reading is also great, but when it comes to learning a lot, मुझे non-fiction ने बहुत help करा है. Whether it is 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel or Rework by Jason and David. So it has been a huge part of my learnings and working.
So like ये मेरा आपसे थोड़ा सा पर्सनल क्वेश्चन हो जाएगा, वो ये कि आप अपने स्टार्टअप के बारे में दिन में कितनी बार सोच लेते हो कि यार बस अब तो स्टार्टअप. मैंने एक आईएएस ऑफिसर से बात करी थी, वो ये कहते कि आपको डेस्परेट नहीं होना है, मतलब आप या तो पागलों की तरह स्टार्टअप, या फिर ये चीज, मतलब ऐसे घुसना नहीं है, आपको एक लिमिटेड टाइम देना है,
हाँ
आपको एक रीजनेबल टाइम देना है कि हाँ मैंने जो टाइम डिवोट किया वो बेस्ट होना चाहिए। तो आपका उस पर क्या पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू
यार, मैं तो इसमें बहुत बुरी हूँ एक्चुअली। मुझे लगता है कि मैं अपने आप को निकाल ही नहीं पाती हूँ उस चीज से, उस जोन से। मैंने भी बहुत कोशिश करी है कि दिस पीरियड ऑफ टाइम आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू थिंक अबाउट माई स्टार्टअप, बट दैट डजंट हैपन. I think it's too soon for me right now. I'm so into my business that I'm not able to take myself out of it. तो मैं तो दिन में आप मुझसे पूछो कि मैं कितनी बार नहीं सोचती हूँ अपने स्टार्टअप के बारे में, तो वो मुझे लगता है कि मैं जब सोती हूँ तो शायद मैं नहीं, बट मुझे लगता है मैं सोते हुए भी सोचती हूँ. तो मैं तो हर 2 मिनट हर टाइम अपने बिजनेस के बारे में सोच रही हूँ, खाते पीते सोते जागते. इवन इफ आई एम वॉचिंग समथिंग आई विल एंड अप थिंकिंग अबाउट कि यार आई कुड हैव डन दिस, मुझे ये बात बोल देनी चाहिए थी वहां पे. तो मैं हमेशा काम के बारे में सोचती हूँ, बट ये बहुत गलत बात है. आई थिंक इट्स वेरी राइट एज यू सेड, यू नीड टू डिवोट सम टाइम. और इसके लिए मैंने जो एक थोड़ी सी हैबिट ट्राई करी है कि इन वीकेंड्स आई ट्राई नॉट टू थिंक अ लॉट अबाउट माई वर्क. I try to read, or spend some time with my family, friends. I also play badminton. So I've started to take few activities which takes me out of my business, because business चलाने के लिए आपका close point of view तो important है ही, पर उससे बहुत ज्यादा important आपका bird eye view है. आपको उसे बाहर निकल के भी देखने की जरूरत है कि क्या हो रहा है, और होता वो बिजनेस के बारे में ही है, बट लाइक यू नीड टू distract yourself. But I'm trying to divide my time.
Yeah. So like आप वोइला के फ्यूचर के बारे में क्या सोच रहे हो?
वोइला के फ्यूचर के बारे में तो पहले तो आई थिंक इफ आई टू से माय शॉर्ट टर्म गोल्स इज कि वोइला शुड बी एक्सेसिबल टू ईच एंड एवरी फाउंडर इन आवर कंट्री. दे शुड नो दैट इफ दे हैव अ प्रॉब्लम दे हैव अ प्लेस जहाँ पे वो जाके अपनी प्रॉब्लम पूछ के अपना सोल्यूशन मिल सकता है उन्हें. दे कैन गेट अ राइट एक्सपर्ट एंड इवेंचुअली अ मेंटोर ऑल्सो. So want every founder to know about this readily solution which is available to them in India, and to make it more accessible. That is the reason why we made an app, because apps ज़्यादा accessible और flexible कुछ नहीं हो सकता है. So that is my first goal, and eventually I think Voila will go international. I would want Indian app taking over the world by storm, where we are providing a readily solution to all the founders.
So like आप गर्ल्स को क्या एडवाइस करना चाहते हो कि लाइक गर्ल्स ना स्टार्टअप में घुस नहीं पाती, घुस जाती है तो फिर फैमिली का प्रेशर लगाता है. मतलब मैंने आप शार्क टैंक्स देख रहे हो तो वहां पर भी एक एपिसोड ऐसा आया था कि लाइक वहां पर उसकी फैमिली वाले उसको सपोर्ट नहीं करते थे, बट उनकी वही सबसे बड़ी मोटिवेशन थी जो उनके फाउंडर्स थे कि लाइक अगर ये काम कर रही है जबकि इसकी फैमिली मेंबर सपोर्ट नहीं करे तो हम तो जरूर करेंगे. तो वहां पर गर्ल्स को दबाया जाता है हमारे समाज में, हमारे इंडिया में, तो वहां पर गर्ल्स काम नहीं कर पाती. तो आपका क्या एडवाइस करना चाहोगे?
You're absolutely right. कि as a woman, as a girl, I think the biggest thing is जॉब करना भी आज के टाइम में मतलब अब जाके थोड़ा सा बेटर हुआ है. पहले उन्हें जॉब भी करने को नहीं मिलता था, राइट? तो I am privileged, but that doesn't mean that I am very aware and conscious about it. कि that's not the case with everyone. And I really want to change that. I want to ensure, Women's Day is coming, and I want to put this out that at Voila, in fact, we are taking a pledge this Women's Day that we were going to empower all the women entrepreneurs who wish to take this field and provide the right set of expertise. And even if it is required, हम उसमें 2 steps और लेके अगर हमें लगता है कि we can help them support financially and otherwise, we will do that. This is a pledge that we are taking, and I'm proud to say that Voila is doing this. But other than that, I want to say to every girl, every woman out there that, more than the outside, you need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in yourself that you can do this. कहते हैं ना कि more than a man, women doubts themselves a lot. They are actually more capable. They are way more capable. They are multitasker. वो शुरू से काम कर रही हैं. They are diligent. Of course, this is a more generic point of view, but other than that also, I think a woman is always trying to prove to her family, to her outside environment that I can do this. But I think more than anything else, they need to tell this to themselves. जिस दिन वो ठान लेंगी ना कि वो कर सकती हैं, तो उस दिन वो जैसे शार्क टैंक में आके उन्होंने बोला ना कि मैंने आके काम करा है बाहर, मैंने अपनी फैमिली को छोड़ा है, and the family will come back to her. Same way, I believe when women will start trusting themselves more, that is when the real empowerment will happen. And when people will see outside that she's the one, she can do it, she can run business, she can take the world if she wants to. And she can lead a nation and go wherever she wishes to. But that will start with her self-belief.
या सो लाइक आप एक चीज मैं आपके साथ एक प्रॉब्लम शेयर करता हूँ जो हमारी जनरेशन की है, वो ये कि प्लान बना लेंगे, एक्शन भी कर लेंगे, बट उसको कंसिस्टेंसी के साथ खत्म करना वो नहीं हो पाता. लाइक मैं अपनी जनरेशन, मतलब मैं अपनी एज की जो ग्रुप है मेरा 18 से 23 या फिर उसके बाद 23 से 28, वो सारे यही पीपल फेस कर रहे हैं कि लाइक हमने प्लान बना लिया, हमने स्टार्ट करना, पहले स्टार्ट करना बहुत मुश्किल होता था, अब स्टार्ट कर लेते हैं कि यार प्लान बनाया, मोटिवेशन वीडियो देखेंगे, स्टार्ट करना शुरू कर देंगे, ठीक है. बट 3-4 दिन करेंगे, 7 दिन करेंगे, 8 दिन करेंगे, 10 दिन करेंगे, पर उसके बाद जो 11वां या 15वां दिन आता है वहां पर रुक जाते हैं, कंसिस्टेंसी ब्रेक हो जाती है बिल्कुल ही, और वो अपना टास्क जो उनका आइडिया था वो वहां पर खत्म कर देते हैं. तो वहां पर लाइक स्टार्टअप फेल्स भी होते हैं. लाइक जो काम वो बंदा करना चाहता था, जिसकी वजह से इंडिया या वो खुद एक अच्छे लेवल पे ग्रो कर सकता था, वो खत्म हो जाता है. तो वहां पर आपका क्या पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है, कैसे वो कर सकते हैं?
This is not a problem of Gen Z. This is a problem all across, at every age. Millennials, Gen Z, Gen X, Gen Y, whatever. ये सबका प्रॉब्लम है कि पहले मैं बताती हूँ, पहली प्रॉब्लम थी एग्जीक्यूशन. पहले लोग सिर्फ देख के खुश हो जाते थे, एग्जीक्यूट भी नहीं करते थे. नाउ दे स्टार्टेड टू एग्जीक्यूट. बट यू आर राइट, more than execution, the challenge is to actually build that consistency. और मैं बताती हूँ वो कंसिस्टेंसी क्यों टूटती है. वो कंसिस्टेंसी टूटती है बिकॉज ऑफ बोर्डम. वी हैव टू मेनी ऑप्शंस. We have too many options that to move from one position to another. आज मैंने सोचा कि every day I'm going to read one chapter of a book. Taking a very small example. Read one chapter every day. Not a very hard thing. It's going to barely take 5 minutes for me. Every single day. But मैं फिर भी नहीं कर रही हूँ. इसलिए नहीं कि मुझे इससे बेनिफिट नहीं होगा या मुझे इसके बेनिफिट्स नहीं पता. मुझे सब पता है इसके बेनिफिट्स वो है. बट आई विल एंड अप वन डे बी लाइक छोड़ो यार. और वो ये जो चीज है ना, एक तो आती है टू मेनी ऑप्शंस के साथ, और सेकंड आई थिंक आती है बिकॉज यू फील लाइक देयर इज स्टिल सम टाइम एंड दिस थिंग इज देयर. I believe consistency comes when you decide to prioritize it. बहुत important है prioritize करना. आपने पढ़ा होगा कि ऐसा नहीं है कि लोगों के पास टाइम नहीं है, लोगों की प्रायोरिटी नहीं है.
बिल्कुल.
राइट. तो अगर आप किसी भी चीज को अगर आप कंसिस्टेंटली करना चाहते हो, वो कुछ भी हो सकता है, वो कोई काम हो सकता है, कोई एक्टिविटी हो सकती है, कोई स्ट्रीक हो सकती है फॉर दैट मैटर. राइट. तो वो दो चीजों से आती है, एक प्रायोरिटी और दूसरा इंसेंटिवाइजिंग. ओके. सो पहले तो आपको अपनी उस चीज को प्रायोरिटाइज करना पड़ेगा कि हाँ ये मेरे लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है, और ये मेरे लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है कब तक, उसका टाइम डिसाइड करो. ठीक है. तो अगर ये मेरे लिए 1 month के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है या मेरे लिए 3 months के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है, उसको करो. ठीक है. और उसके बाद उसको इंसेंटिवाइज करो. कैसे करोगे इंसेंटिवाइज? लेट्स से कि मैंने 1 week हर रोज वो एक चैप्टर पढ़ा बुक का जो मैंने डिसाइड किया था. सो आफ्टर 7 days when it is done, need to give a pat to my back. How do I do it? Maybe I'll order a dessert. कि every 7 days I finish 7 chapters, I'm going to order a dessert for myself. उससे पहले नहीं करूंगी. So this is a very small motivation incentivization that I've done for myself. When you start incentivizing it and you're getting those reward points जो ऐप पे होते हैं. आप क्यों स्ट्रीक बनाते हो स्नैपचैट पे या उस चीजों में? क्योंकि आपको रिवॉर्ड मिलता है. आपको होता है कि यार ये मैंने कर दिया ना, तोड़ दिया तो मेरा स्ट्रीक खत्म हो जाएगा, मेरा ये. बट दैट थिंग कम्स फ्रॉम इंसेंटिवाइजेशन. सो प्रायोरिटाइजेशन एंड इंसेंटिवाइजेशन विल हेल्प यू मेक दैट कंसिस्टेंसी.
सो लाइक आप सारे एक्सपर्टीज प्रोवाइड करते हो अपने मतलब ऐप पर और प्लेटफॉर्म पर, तो मेरा ये क्वेश्चन आता है कि मेंटर्स कितने मेजर रोल प्ले करते हैं अपनी हमारी लाइफ में?
मेंटर्स बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है आई थिंक, एंड मोर देन नॉट ओनली गेटिंग वन मेंटोर बट ऑल्सो गेटिंग राइट मेंटोर एट द राइट टाइम, राइट? सो अगर अभी मैं कॉलेज से निकलूँ एंड आई एम थिंकिंग अबाउट माई करियर, द काइंड ऑफ मेंटोर आई वुड नीड कैन बी वेरी डिफरेंट फॉर मी एंड फॉर यू, ठीक है? तो ये बड़ा सब्जेक्टिव भी है, एंड दे से लकी आर दोज हु हैव मेंटोर्स इन देयर लाइफ, एंड इट्स ट्रू, बिकॉज ऐसा नहीं कि आप मेंटोर के बिना काम नहीं कर सकते, यू कैन डू इट, आप कर सकते हो, बट द टाइम इट विल टेक फॉर यू टू रीच एट वन पॉइंट A to B will be much lesser and will be much smarter as compared to reaching without mentor. एक मेंटोर आपका बहुत टाइम बचाता है, आपको बहुत चीज सिखाता है जो आपको शायद खुद झूंझ के सीखनी पड़ती। तो वो चीजों के लिए आई थिंक मेंटोर बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, और ये जानना कि किस टाइम पे कौन सा मेंटोर आपको हेल्प कर सकता है, ये भी उतना ही इम्पोर्टेंट है। मतलब मैं ये बोल दूं कि जो मेरे लिए मेंटोर सही है वही हर्षित के लिए भी सही है, ये जरूरी नहीं है। तो आप मेंटोर को चूज करते हो, मेंटोर भी आपको चूज करता है, इट्स अ टू वे स्ट्रीट। तो ये भी जानना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, सो दैट इज दैट।
या सो लाइक अब हमने काफी चीजें बात करी और हमने 1 घंटा बहुत अच्छी कॉन्वर्सेशन करी, एंड इस पॉडकास्ट को यहाँ पर एंड करते हैं। और यहाँ पर लास्ट में आपसे ये पूछना चाहूंगा कि आप एडवाइस कर दो जो यंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स आ रहे हैं, ताकि जो आपकी गलतियां हुई या आपने जो गलतियां करी या जो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स एक्चुअल में करते हैं वो ना करें और वो गलती से बच सके। ताकि मेन गोल क्या है हमारा, एक स्टार्टअप अच्छा करना, इंडिया को लेकर जाना आगे। मेरे को तो यही लगता है कि जो स्टार्टअप करते हैं वो एक तो फाइनेंशियल नीड्स होती है, दूसरा हमारा इंडिया कहीं ना कहीं ग्रो कर ही रहा है। तो वहां पर आप क्या कहना चाहोगे?
Exactly, it's a great time to do a startup because especially right now जिस तरह से startups boom कर रहे हैं हमारी country में, जिस तरह से हमको support मिल रहा है, the next decade belongs to entrepreneurs, the next decade belongs to startups. They are going to be the biggest boosters of economy. They are the people who are going to provide enough jobs, genuinely solving a problem and making our life much, much easier. So running a startup, doing a job in a startup or being a part of building a startup is very, very important. And it's great if you get a chance to be part of it. The advice or anything that I would like to give to any entrepreneurs out there is that, one is know why you're doing this. Know your why. It's very important why you started this or why you're doing this. So your motivation of doing this is one thing. Second is, I would say, keep learning, keep upskilling yourself. Doesn't mean कि आज आपने बिजनेस शुरू कर दिया है तो आप अपनी लर्निंग्स को छोड़ दो। Irrespective, in fact, जो जॉब भी कर रहे हैं या बिजनेस भी कर रहे हैं, I think it's very important that you keep upscaling yourself, for which you can read books, you can listen to podcasts, you can watch so many videos. There is no dearth of content out there for you to learn. It's very important the right kind of content that you consume. So I think that is very important, especially for an entrepreneur. मुझे लगता है क्योंकि entrepreneur से बहुत expect किया जाता है कि उसको सब कुछ पता हो, और that I believe कि and people are looking at you, your team is looking at you, your partners are looking at you. So it is very important कि you are able to give them that confidence, and that will only come with the right education. So can't emphasize more enough on this. And third is ask for help when you need it. बहुत सारे entrepreneurs हैं, in terms of people, they are always scared to take help. And I think Indians में भी बहुत है कि वो मदद नहीं मांगते हैं। तो किसी भी सबको सब नहीं आता है, तो राइट टाइम पे किसी से हेल्प मांगना, एक सोल्यूशन लेना, एक एक्सपर्टीज लेना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. That will only help you nurture faster and not embarrass you. People are embarrassed to take help, and I hope that is eradicated. So यही 3 चीजें हैं. And I think last and not the least, believe in yourself. Because when you believe in yourself, people will believe in you. So yeah.
तो थैंक यू सो मच दी, आप मेरे चैनल पर आए, आपने एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के बारे में बहुत सारा बताया, आपने स्टार्टअप के बारे में बताया, और जो चैलेंजेस फेस करते हैं एंटरप्रेन्योर्स उसके बारे में बहुत सारा कुछ बताया. तो एक बार फिर से बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. और मैं अपने सभी व्यूअर्स को कहना चाहूंगा कि ऑल द लिंक्स ऑफ अंजलि बावा दी आर इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन, तो आप वहां से उनको एक बार चेक कर सकते हो। एंड दी मुझे इस पॉडकास्ट में बहुत मजा आया एंड आई होप सो आपको भी इस पॉडकास्ट में मजा आया होगा।
बहुत बहुत I had lot of fun. Thank you so much again for inviting me. Means a lot. And anyone
Thank
who's
you so
watching
much.
this, please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. More than happy to provide you with a solution.
सो थैंक यू सो मच दी, एंड सारे लिंक्स आपको फिर से मिल जाएंगे डिस्क्रिप्शन में एज यूजुअल, तो वहां से एक बार जरूर कैच करना। और अब आपसे अगले पॉडकास्ट में मिलेंगे दी, अगर हम फिर से कनेक्ट कर पाए, आपके पास टाइम हुआ तो जरूर बात करेंगे आपसे। तब तक के लिए सभी को बाय
Definitely.
एंड थैंक यू सो मच।